Okay, here's another thing I wanted to chart down in this little video diary thing. Whenever you're singing, you can mix textures, and I'm sure many singers already know this because it's just something you figure out. But like, I always wondered how far can you push this? So let me run through a few textures right now. We have chest voice. We have mixed voice. Well, so I had to go up an octave because that's when mixed voice becomes easier to use. And then we've got head voice. And then we've got falsetto. Excuse me, I just had yogurt. So, I think I had those right. If I didn't, please correct me because no one ever taught me this stuff. So I guessed pretty much this whole time. So what I learned is that there are different ways to add texture into those. First, you can mix and match those. Say you're climbing in a song, like you're going from the all the way up to ah. It's tough, but there's different things you can do. You can like switch voices, like the. See? Obviously, that was a really rusty, crusty version, but if you can find a way to make those breaks and those switches much smoother, it'll flow really nicely. As someone who sings tenor one in choir, this is a must because I definitely cannot reach some of these notes unless I switch. So that's one thing. I have heard of this one technique for adding power into high notes when you can't reach them, and that's introducing vocal fry. So vocal fry is just but if you add that texture into your mixed voice, for instance, then that might like give more power, even though the power isn't really there. You're just adding more like voice. I don't know, but like, say I'm trying to hit like but I add fry. See, it doesn't sound the prettiest, but in spur of the moment, you might be able to hit it, so it's nice. And of course, you can make it sound pretty with practice. Now, one really important thing that I stumbled across too was opening my soft palate and how much that affects stuff. So, how do I explain this? This is your mouth, right? These are like your teeth. This is your bottom lip, whatever. And then back here is your soft palate, or I should put it right here. Yeah, back here's your soft palate. And if you can like, can't really do it with my hand, but if you can like bring this whole part back, and like whenever you yawn, you do that. You go like try yawning, freezing it, and then speaking. And you sound like this, and you sound like that. That's perfect. Then you can like hit notes a lot cleaner with that. Or if you're in a lower range, it makes your voice sound much more ethereal. One person who does this a lot is John Owen Jones, my inspo. But like God on high. I'm pushing, not pulling. I mean pushing. I'm pulling my soft palate really far back, and that makes me sound like a woman, which I enjoy. God on high, here. Right there, it's really far back. Here. I'm pretty sure this helps hitting higher notes. Let's see. Okay, that's interesting. When I pull it back, when I'm in those higher ranges, the texture changes, and I'm pretty sure I hit mixed voice there. So once again, like, you have to play with these things yourself and see what happens whenever you mix stuff. You have to do a little voice alchemy on your own time, and then remember the combinations, or get a feel for them, and you can just use them in real time. Now, the third thing that's really important that I want to mention is resonance, and I kind of touched on this when I went through the different voices. Resonance is what happens when you choose a part of your body to vibrate, and that changes the texture of your voice. So if I wanted my nose to vibrate while I sing, then it would sound like this, which if you're playing a character might be really nice, such as Adelaide or Lena Lamont. Like if I sing like this, you can tell it's going through my nose. Right, I can feel my nostrils vibrating when I do that. The other one that a lot of classical / I guess theater people might use is vibrating right here, which is a great spot, like this whole area. That gives so much power into anything. And so when you need more power for like a higher note and you just can't find it, try vibrating this area and maybe introducing a little vocal fry, and you just like add a couple more punches of power. So like, that's just my normal singing voice, but let me vibrate here more. And then let me add a vocal fry. Yeah. So that's one option. What's really interesting about vibrating right here is that if you play with it, you can sometimes split your voice. And you might notice this if you sing in a choir. There's these things called overtones. In short, any note you sing is made up of a bass note and many notes on top of it. And sometimes when you're singing that bass note with a lot of people, but you're vibrating just the right part in just the right way, those overtones work together to create other notes. And when your bass note blends in with everyone else's, you hear that other part really well. And so that happens whenever I sing ooh with the tenors in choir, because that ooh is really nice for vibrating right up here for me. Like, when I do that, my soft palate goes back, this part vibrates, and I personally can hear the second note. It's but an octave or two higher. Yeah, I hear it. It's that's the other note I hear. So yeah, that's a really cool thing, and that's how I wonder how far people can push this, because there are whole pieces written for this phenomenon where people access these ghost notes, I like to call them, and use them in music, which is really weird. Really weird. And I want to learn how to do that so bad. So yeah, that's up here. Of course, you can choose to vibrate right like this area. I think this is just chest voice, so I'm choosing to vibrate down here. And then when I say vibrate, low-key, I kind of just mean focus on, and usually that part vibrates too. And then, of course, you like, go down here. Yeah. The final note I want to mention is breathing. So when you breathe in singing, you can breathe however you want, low-key, it doesn't really matter to me. Usually, breathing from the belly is great if you want power and long sustained notes. So if you can do that before a note, that's great. This is something you got to practice in your own time too, because sometimes that volume just isn't there because you haven't practiced it. So like, God on high. You see that? I like when I clench my abs as a way to like push the air up, and that gives so much more energy into whatever is going on up here. Like, you produce power from down here and you shape the sound up here using what I just mentioned previously before. So breathing is very important, and make sure you do not strain your voice. I'm gonna say that I'm a hypocrite because I do this a lot, especially tenor 1, learning to hit these higher notes. It's easy to cheat and just like tense your shoulders, tense your neck, and try to like push your
push your voice up here as a way to.
Like, just like get it. In the long run, that will murk your voice. Don't do it. But like, let me try straining. Like, wait, no. I don't even know what that texture is. I think it's mixed. But like, I've tried really hard to tense my neck, and just it feels wrong. And that's one thing. When I was auditioning for the voice scholarship here, they told me, not they, my choir director told me, like, just loosen your neck muscles, loosen your shoulders, and then try and hit these notes. And then I did, and I hit them really clearly, and I was like, shoot, I'm just tense. I'm a tense kind of guy. So watch out for that. But yeah, as you can see, not breathing, singing involves everything. Literally everything. And that's what makes it so cool.